Insecurity in Imo State has dominated headlines in recent days since 8 soldiers were killed by unidentified gunmen. Tension has risen as the state prepares for its governorship election. Well, candidates battling for the seat will have to tackle insecurity in the state, among other things. Well, we're joined now by one of these governorship hopefuls, Emmanuel Awulonu, candidate for the African Action Congress in Imo State. Thank you so much for joining us on Newsnight tonight. So first off, let's start with that point you've been making over and over again, that the people's vote will count. Exactly how are you going to make that happen? Do you have, I mean, the tools or the, persuasive, equipment to ensure that the people's votes count?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Right.
Yes, we have been organized. We are ready. We know that the plan is to write and call the results, and we have already gone into preparations to make sure that the citizenry have their say on that day. Technology is always a solution to everything. We have iReporters tailored for Imo State, just like we mentioned earlier. People who know me know that I'm not only a lawyer, I'm also a tech solution provider. I was behind the structured media that was tweeted out and used during the during the presidential election, because we foresaw that IRF was going to be sabotaged. Now we know now that the result in Imo State is going to be written, because with insecurity.
Written by who exactly? I mean,
I'm not a soothsayer, but the issue is that everyone knows that the security situation in Nigeria, in Imo State, has made it impossible for the candidates to operate.
Now let's make something very clear.
Yeah.
We want you to talk about your plan to solve the insecurity dilemma in the state. But before then, you just made a huge claim, and then you followed it up very quickly and smartly too, by quipping that you're not a soothsayer. But you made it clear that some people are planning to write and announce the result. Who are they?
Now, as it is, there is no state in Nigeria that has the insecurity problem that Imo State has.
Before we go into the insecurity, you just mentioned that some people are planning to write and announce the results. Whom do you suspect?
Just 2 days ago, as you know, military men were killed in Imo State. Abnormal, very, very bad situation that Imo State people are not used to. Imo State people are calm, very law-abiding people. For military men to be killed in Imo State, Abacha, when he was in power, said, for insecurity to last for more than 24 hours, the government has a hand in it. I'm not here to tell you who perpetuated that problem, but the issue is that in Imo State now, military men are being killed. Our servicemen, honored men, people of honor and integrity are being killed. If you look, you will see that these military men were killed for no reason. The buck stops at somebody's table, and somebody is benefiting from it. So what we're saying is that as a candidate of the African Action Congress, the only alternative to the old regime, the only alternative to the recycled regime, they are making it impossible for us to operate, for us to campaign like others. So the only problem is that we really need to go to the nitty-gritty of the matter.
All right. To be governor of a state means you'll be the chief security officer, and you've talked about the state of insecurity in Imo State. Have you been able to clearly diagnose what the root cause of insecurity in Imo State is, and how exactly are you going to address, that situation?
Thank you very much. Yes, that's what I always tell everybody. the root cause of insecurity in Imo State is very simple. People have said, oh, he's the present governor and all his... I do not agree with that. Hope Uzodimma is the present governor of Imo State. And you cannot say that a present governor will start to kill his own people. But the issue is, the buck stops at somebody's table. And as it is today, the insecurity in Imo State stems from the social and moral unacceptability of the government. Hope Uzodimma himself is on record, said himself that the insecurity started by people who are not happy with his emergence. So the process that by which he emerged is the problem. It's not an issue that I do not think that Hope Uzodimma is that bad man that he can start killing people in his own state. But in the process in which he emerged is the problem.
So how does the killing of people solve the problem for those who are killing people because of the way they perceive that Hope Uzodimma emerged? I mean, it was the Supreme Court that ruled that he is the rightful winner of that election. Let's talk about, very quickly, so we don't lose sight of this. I mean, you said you've not been able to campaign. Exactly who's stopping you from campaigning in the state?
For instance, as we talk today, there is an obnoxious decree and a law made by the signage department of the Imo State government that any other candidate must have to pay 54 million before you can put a billboard. I've gone to court. I've instructed my lawyers as a law-abiding citizen. And a lawyer and a legal practitioner. I've instructed my lawyers and they have gone to court. Those the appeal, the case, the action is in public domain. I can furnish you with those matters. That every candidate must pay 54 million. It's not coming to say you are in opposition, you don't know what is happening. I've gone to court already, I've taken action. So that will not happen.
Okay. Now, part of what you have in Chapter 2 of the 1999 Constitution as amended in 2011 that we operate at the moment is clearly spelling out the functions or the responsibilities of a state governor. Your primary purpose is the welfare, the security and welfare of the people. What welfare package, I don't want to say welfareism, but what is your roadmap for the welfare and security of the people of the state?
Thank you very much. You are very right. You are well informed. The issue is, Hope Uzodimma, the present governor of Imo State, nobody says he's a bad man, but the issue is, the process by which he emerged has laid a political baggage that he has been unable to discharge, even after spending all the borrowed monies in Imo State.
Can we leave Hope Uzodimma for a minute? Hang on, just hold on a little. Can we leave Hope Uzodimma for a minute and focus on what you want to do for the state?
That's where I am. The problem is not a rocket science. The problem, people talk about, I've listened to all the candidates, they talk about empowerment, this, that. The problem is engagement. Listen to me. I can tell you for free, the language is engagement. You engage the youth. Engagement encompasses empowerment, employment, and everything. Recreational facilities. You must engage the youth so that they will now give you the solutions. If you engage the youth, the problem of insecurity will end in Imo State. And that's what is lacking. The present government is giving us rulership instead of leadership. When you have the willingness, when you have the people cooperation, when you have their consent to deal, they will now tell you this insecurity will end.
So as you go about your campaigning, I mean, you say you want to transform Imo State.
Yes.
What exactly are the specifics?
Right.
Exactly how do you plan to transform the state?
Transforming Imo State is a simple thing. First thing, we came up with the slogan, Take Back Imo. Take Back Imo consists of a two-step action. Making sure that it's a free, fair, transparent election is held in Imo State. That free, fair, transparent election gives whoever wins, I don't care who wins, whoever wins, the moral, equitable, and legal grounds to rule. And the people will give you a cooperation. And that is the end of insecurity.
Okay, when you say that you don't care who wins, are you insinuating that you're aware that your chances are slim, looking at the political bigwigs that you'll be competing with?
I have the youth are contesting through me. I have the mandate of all the youths in Imo State as we talk. So there is no way I will lose the election in Imo State with the youths behind me. Because what is happening is recycled politicians are being recycled. There is a cliche that says madness is when you repeat the same thing and expect a different result.
Right. We'll have to leave it there.
So
Emmanuel
Awulonu
is the AAC candidate, governorship candidate in Imo State. Thank you so much for joining us, and we wish you the very best as you go to the polls come November 11.